Some of the modeling suggests that a nose, that a nose of instability could redevelop. But again, once those winds goes out to the northwest, I think that's going to cut us off from any severe weather, non-water severe weather. Let me put it that way, because there is plenty of water-based severe weather right now. Again, as we watch the tide levels, 9.86 feet in the harbor, we're closing in on Irma. High tide was at 11:17 a.m. and the water continues to rise. So we're getting a good peek of I think we're getting, the term that we would use in a tropical cyclone is storm surge, right? Well, that's what's happening here. The astronomical prediction, all right, so we're at 9.65 now. So it looks like, so that is a fall, so that's helpful. But, we are surging now, that's 4 feet of surge, friends. Because the astronomical prediction was 5 feet, 5.6 feet. So 9 minus 5, allegedly, 4. So that's 4 feet of surge. So I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute here. Preliminarily, anyway, of course, there's going to be some after-storm adjustments to that, but the initial indication is that we're looking at 4 feet of surge from this. That's higher than Adalia. That's higher than Isaias. That's higher than, that's higher than Matthew. That's about where Matthew was. To give you a general idea of just how powerful this storm is, how much water it moved. Again, it's not necessarily the speed of the winds. Speed of the winds certainly help, but this is a very broad circulation. Unlike a tropical cyclone where the circulation is going to be relatively tight, it's going to be relatively focused. This is a very broad storm, and this is going to push a lot of water. And I know they're going to be watching this with great interest up in the Grand Strand, Pawleys, Georgetown. It looks significant. It looks even more significant up there because their high tide is peaking now. They're getting the thick of it right now. It looks like we have missed high tide with the surge ever so slightly. Not that that is much of a consolation because the damage is done. We have, again, numerous closed roads downtown. We have reports of disabled vehicles. It's honestly amazing that any traffic is moving right now. God, that's a credit to a lot of the work that's been going on over the last few years, is that anything is functioning at all. That's actually somewhat remarkable. But 9.65 feet is the current reading at the Charleston Harbor. That is down from a peak of 9.83, but we're going to continue to watch that. The rainfall, so we have a squall line still, again, stretching from offshore through Sullivan's, Isle of Palms, up towards Bowles Bay. Ondaw right now kind of at the tip of the fire hose here. Ondaw, Jamestown, would not be surprised to see some flooding issues develop along the river here at the Santee River at Jamestown. So we can see some flood warnings go up there, probably within the next day or so. Again, it can take some time for that to become an issue. Let's see what the radar thinks. So again, I'm showing radar estimations here, but I want to caution everybody on these radar. I'm going to show these radar estimations here, but I want to caution folks that I believe that these are underrepresented. And in fact, and I know for a fact in some cases they are. They may be off by an inch or more, but we're going to show them just to give you kind of a general idea of kind of what this has looked like. So again, here's the radar estimates. This is a storm total rainfall estimate. This rainfall estimate started, when did it start? Let's see, when is the, you usually have all right, so it started about midnight yesterday. We didn't really rain much until midnight tonight. You can see here that when you get into these deep oranges and reds, that's when you get to your 3 to 4 inches. And again, I think this is underestimated. I fully expect that this is underestimated. I went out to look at my gauge 3 hours ago, and it was at 2 inches. The radar in my neck of the woods here is barely over 2 inches. So it is very possible that this is undercounting significantly. So don't take the radar estimates at face value here. I just wouldn't do it. I think that more has fallen than the radar is letting on, which is to be expected, quite frankly. I think that's absolutely to be expected. Let's see here. Got a lot of incoming. Yeah, so we've got a lot here, and again, this has just been this is damn near historic. From every sense of the word here. So I'm going to switch back to the analyst here. Let's take a look at the current radar, kind of where we're at. And again, we put this into motion, and you can see we had that tornado warning earlier. You can see that line of storms, and you can see some dry air trying to punch in too. You see some of that heavier rain begin to erode. So again, we're starting to see the worst of the rain begin to shift off to the north and east, and that is good. That is ideal. We would love to get it completely out of here and as soon as possible. Thank you, please and thank you. It may take a little bit more time, and again, we could see another inch, 2, 3, maybe in parts of the East Cooper region here before it's all said and done. Let's take the regional view so we can show you I want to show you the whole thing. I want to show you the whole storm here. So I'm going to take the regional view, and you can see the this is nuts. I mean, there's the center. There's the center of the storm. There's the low pressure system, and you can see the winds are out of the north now at Savannah, and that's going to help. And you can see the winds are now out of the north at Hilton Head and Beaufort and places like that. So even starting to see some northwesterlies beginning to try and take root here at James Island. So once that starts to happen, we're going to start to see this water level come down. However, right now the winds at the harbor are still out of the north-northeast. So we need to continue to keep an eye on that for the short term. All right, so let me get the, I'm just looking at the numbers here. So now we're down to 9.56. So we are starting to see, and we're starting to see that north wind kick in. So, so like we expected, as that wind direction has settled, subtly changes here, it's going to begin to, it's going to begin to, start blowing out, and I believe that's exactly what's happening here. I'm setting this into motion so we can kind of see exactly what's what. And again, folks, I apologize. I am the dock is now underwater. Wow, 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 wow. Oh goodness, goodness. Yeah. But I think if there's one bit of good news here is that we are finally, it is 12:16, we are an hour after high tide, almost exactly, we're finally starting to see the water level come down. I apologize for you having to see my bald head there as I look over at my iPad. I'm out of practice. The weather's been really good here, we just really haven't had a lot. So, but again, zooming out a little bit, you can see there's that nor'easter beginning to take hold here, and again, we got some strong winds moving in. Put on the water vapor here. You see this really, like, this bright yellow punching in. And in fact, all right, let's get nerdy. So here's the 500 millibar chart. And you can see this dry air beginning to really punch in now on the back side of this. And this is where I'm concerned, where we could see some even higher gusts begin to develop, is that dry air. Dry air is denser. And as it cools and dries rapidly, it will descend rapidly. And that's what's known as a sting jet. Weather Service called this out last night in the discussion. I think it was a good observation. There's something we want to watch, because we can still get a pretty decent amount of wind damage here. The wind story from this storm is not over yet. We're starting to see we're seeing the rain move out, but the wind story from this is not over yet. It is not over yet. So, we're going to be in the wind here for a little bit while. Wind advisory goes until 1 in the morning. That was extended earlier today. But yeah, but it does look like we look for the good here. We look for the good here at Charleston Weather Headquarters, and one of the good things is that we are starting to see this tide begin to come down. So, Irma. Lord have mercy. All right, so again, looking at this, we have this this really powerful dry slot beginning to settle in. So we're going to want to watch that. And again, you see this the trough here. This trough is helping enhance the low pressure to develop and move to the north, and it just had a couple pieces of energy that kind of phase together all at the same time, and magic, quote unquote, happens, which is unfortunate. Don't really think it's that magical, truth be told, but so it goes. But for the metro area, again, we still have heavy rain. That is still right now, as we zoom in a little bit, we still have heavy rain coming in from off the ocean. Generally around the East Cooper region at this point. Downtown, you're in a lull. Somerville, Moncks Corner, for all intents and purposes, you're in a lull. West Ashley, you're in a lull. The worst of it, and the worst of it is over from the rain perspective in those areas. So that's good news. Again, we have flash flood warning for pretty much all of Charleston County, parts of Berkeley County. This is going to go, this until 1 o'clock. So, we're going to keep that flash flood warning in effect for another 40 minutes. It'll probably be extended. If I had to guess, it's going to be reboxed and extended. They're going to have to. I just don't see a situation in which that won't happen. But again, the strongest convection is now moving east of the area. And now it becomes, again, a wind issue. We're not done completely with rain yet. We're not done with everything yet. It's still going to rain, but it's not going to rain like this. It's not going to rain like this. So that is good news. Again, we take whatever good news we can get around here with situations like this. Yeah, just taking a look here. We've got oh my goodness. So we've got a CocoRa's report, probably about 5+ inches in Mount Pleasant, and it's still falling there. Yeah, let's, goodness gracious. Here's a, I'm just really astonished by some of these. It's just astonishing, guys. It's just astonishing. So timing on water recession, and again, there's a lot of water out there, so it's hard to say, but with the winds going around to the north and the northeast, or the northwest rather, one of the good things is that this is going to help kick some of that water out. This is going to enhance the drainage. So it should drain reasonably well. I don't know what time. The stormwater guys are going to be working as hard as they possibly can to get this done, to get Charleston reopened, basically, is kind of the issue that we're dealing with at this point. So here's I've got a video here, or a video, not a video. I've got a photo here. I'm going to airdrop it here from my iPad over to this machine, and I'll get it up on screen for you guys. The man, this is a look at Wentworth Street. So let me get this window capture. I'm going to switch that over to preview once again. This is from Wentworth Street. I'm going to turn this on here. I know this is not the that is totaled. Look how high up that water is. Look how high up that water is on the fence. This is water up to a roof here. If you're just listening, I've got a photo up on the screen right now of Wentworth Street, along Wentworth Street here. This is unreal. This is as bad as I've seen it in a very long time. Comes to us from Dr. Goldstein on Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it today. This is just unbelievable, guys. My goodness. My goodness. So this is the aftermath here, and again, this is a lot of water. I don't know how long it's going to take for this. I don't know how long it's going to take for this to drain. It's going to take a long time for that to drain. I just don't see that being a thing in the foreseeable future, folks. It's not good. Again, the rain is over, but again, the damage is done, folks. The damage is done. We are dealing with. Yeah, we're just this is just unreal, guys. Shem, I mean, just there's photos coming in. Finally, somebody noticed my background. Thank you. Somebody noticed my coastal flooding background. Yes, it's a floating trash can. Makes me so happy that somebody finally noticed. It's the little things around here, guys. I'm telling you. But yeah, I mean, it literally is a floating trash can. I mean, it literally is a representation of what kind of we're showing here with the coastal flood warning graphic that is sitting behind me right now. It truly is, and this is. It truly is, and this is.
I'm James Brierton, and welcome to the Carolina Weather Net, powered by the best of the Carolina Weather Group for you, the Carolina Weather fan. I wanted to personally welcome you in and give you a tour. The best of our weekly show, the Carolina Weather Group, will be featured right here in this main window, featuring newsmaker interviews from the fields of science, weather, technology, and more for the Carolinas and beyond. And you can always find episode information in the blue bar down below. But even if this isn't a taped replay, you will get continuously updated weather information across the Carolinas on the left side of your screen. Skycams, radar, current conditions, forecast, and more will appear there. And also at 25 and 55 minutes past every hour when we take an extended look at the detailed forecast across both North and South Carolina. And if there's ever a severe weather bulletin from the National Weather Service, it will appear at the bottom of the screen in red. And of course, if the weather warrants, we will interrupt the loop to bring you live severe weather information right here on the Carolina Weather Net. This is built for you to hang out as long as you would like. Watch it for free any place you watch YouTube, from your smartphone to your smart TV. We are so glad you are here, and we hope that you will like, subscribe, and hit that bell to become a Carolina weather fan. Enjoy.
I appreciate y'all getting the word out, sharing, and helping to stay informed as this morning and this afternoon have been. As we expected. We knew it was going to be rough, but this is beyond the pale, my friends. This is certainly beyond the pale. All right, so looking at our severe threat, it should be coming to an end here fairly soon. Again, to recap, we have a flash flood warning in effect, and I suspect that this is going to be updated here pretty soon. The flash flood warning for much of Charleston County goes until 1 o'clock. It's at let me switch to the analyst here so you can see it a little bit better. Analyst time. So this area, this is going to end here in about a half hour. Don't travel. Just don't travel. It's just bad. We've got some questions. Are there any pics of downtown? We've shared some earlier in the show. I'll be reposting some stuff onto my story here once I get off of the live. I think I'm going to be I've gotten a ton of pictures in. I'm going to go through those and we're going to get some up there. But I promise you that it does not look good. It is. This is as gnarly of a storm as we've had in a very long time, and reports of boats floating from Charleston National into Bluff Docks. Wow. This is over Porter's Bluff and Rivertown towards the Wando. Wow. So if you go on, to the Charleston Weather Twitter, X, whatever you call it, that's where I'm getting a lot of pictures in. I'll be posting more to the story here soon. But again, my goal right now is to stay with you guys, especially as we continue to have very heavy rain, showers, thunderstorms moving ashore, East Cooper region, on to McClellanville, down towards Bulls Bay, Mount Pleasant, Isle of Palms, Wild Dunes, Cainhoy. That is where the heaviest rain is right now. We've gotten questions about the water level. The water level peaked at 9.86 feet. That is the fourth highest on record. It is just shy of Tropical Storm Irma and is the highest on record for a non-tropical cyclone. This is historic. I'm not, people abuse that word. I'll just be frank. People abuse that word. This is not hyperbole. People abuse that word. This is just unbelievable. So, but again, if you jump over there, and I'll be posting some things to the story here once the live concludes. But again, I'm gonna hang here a little bit longer. I want to see what happens with the flash flood warning. Again, the flash flood warning is going until 1 o'clock. I have no doubt in my mind that there will be a new polygon drawn that'll probably take out West Ashley. May take out West Ashley. Probably take out Hanahan at this point. I think we're good there, but I think from downtown, Mount Pleasant. But again, we're going to let the Weather Service make that call. I don't issue the warnings here, but that's just kind of my thinking as to where the flash flood warning will persist. So, that being said, when that update comes out, it's going to hit your phone. Get ready for your phone to go nuts. I know I got hit with the flash flood warning earlier. Hit my phone. It hit my watch. I have a cellular Apple Watch. That was fun. This is definitely, the temperature is the only thing that would kind of tell you that this isn't a tropical system. It's 59 degrees at the airport, 60 degrees along the coast. The temperature is the only thing that's really telling you that this is not a hurricane, but it definitely feels that way in many ways. And again, the rain totals are really coming in now. It definitely has that vibe, that tropical cyclone vibe to it, which is just unreal. So again, I want to thank you all for joining me here as we continue to monitor this severe weather here that is ongoing. We're seeing MPing reports. Actually, there's an MPing report of flooding in Hanahan, so that'll be interesting to see if we get anything concrete out of that. And again, if you're seeing flooding or anything like that, please tag me. Tag me on Twitter. Tag me here. Tag me in my story. I would love to reshare what you've got. I'm putting things on occasionally. It is a little bit difficult at times to do so. there's it can be a little bit tough dealing in a vertical format here, so I got to do some reformatting here. Now, some of you may be joining me from Somerville and like, what are you talking about? Huh? It's windy. You know, we had some rain, but what are you talking about? And you would not be wrong in thinking that. You're in quite a lull there right now, and there's going to be some additional rain that's going to move in on the back end of this here over the next couple hours. But yeah, you'd be like, what's going on? It's fine here. It's fine here. Everything's good. Everything's great. A little windy. Nothing I can't handle. And yeah, and for those of you along an inland to 17A, yeah, you're fine. You're going to be fine most of the day. You're going to have some rain. You're going to have some wind, but it's not going to be what we've seen here along the coast. So the Weather Service has extended the coastal flood. There's a coastal flood advisory, by the way, for Daniel Island, and that has just been extended until 4 o'clock. The coastal flood warning is going to continue until 4 o'clock. So the Weather Service is getting a new package of updates out right now, a new forecast package out, and so I'm starting to see those come across here and again. Flash flood watch remains in effect. High surf advisory remains in effect. We have the flash flood warning is ongoing. We have a flood advisory inland that I think is going to be let go at 1 o'clock. I don't see any reason why they would keep that going. I don't think there's any need for that to stay going at this point. Yeah. Lordy. So again, folks, if you're joining us here, the good news is that we are slowly getting out of the worst of it. We are slowly getting out of the worst of it. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hang here. We're gonna hang here a little longer through about 1 o'clock or so, and then we'll probably take a break. I need some breakfast. That's where we've been at. That's where we're at this morning. So take a little break here from the live, and I don't think we're going to go back live. But what I'm going to do then is just return to my normal coverage. Posting things and stories. And again, please send in your reports. They're very helpful. They're helping us understand the breadth of what's happened here, and a lot has happened, and a lot continues to happen, quite frankly. But if there is, again, when we're talking good news here, the water level is now below 9 feet. It's at 8.95 feet. It will continue to fall, but it's going to take some time. So again, flooding is going to be a problem here for the next little bit. What we're looking for is for the winds to start coming out of the north and the northwest, and once that starts to happen, then we should start to see those water levels drop a little bit faster. But it's going to be a while before that happens yet, especially out of the northwest. That's when we're going to see our best efficiency in draining the water. So it's going to be a little while before we see that. It's going to be a couple more hours there. So again, hopefully downtown's not in your plans today. If it is, I'm sorry. It's just not a day where that's going to be a thing. We just don't need folks traveling down there. We need to keep the roads clean. Keep the roads clean for first responders. Keep everything open. We have a big problem here. So thank you for the update here from Kiowa. Big time road flooding on Kiowa on the Marsh and Riverside, and yeah, that definitely tracks. Definitely would expect that considering the tide and the situation there. If you can get some pics. If you can get some, if you can get some estimates there, that would be very helpful. All right, now I'm joined by my co-meteorologist, Charlie Brown. Say hi, Charlie. He wants to get in my lap, so that's what we're going to do here. As we go into about 12:45. So there you go. There's my dog, and so we're going to hang out here for a little bit longer. Come for the weather, stay for the dog, right? And again, just looking over reports at this point, and again, we're pretty, we're quieting down somewhat, but again, the damage is done, folks. I don't think there's any other way that I can put this. The damage is done. While we're here, I'm going to pull up another photo real quick. I'm going to pull up a photo. I showed this earlier, but I'm going to show it again. I want to. This kind of does it. This does a nice job of kind of showing the extent of what's happened here. Let me Give me just a second here. I'm going to take this into studio mode so I can see what I'm doing before I put it up on air. You might want to do that. So here is a... this was off of Wentworth Street about a half hour ago. This is what you're seeing. Water up to the hood of a vehicle, trash cans floating around like they're nothing. You can see the water line as it relates to that fence. It's got almost 4/5 of that fence submerged. Typical chain link fence, generally know how high those are. This is the kind of thing that we're dealing with, and there's a lot of this out there. There's disabled vehicles on the crosstown. There's numerous road closures. There's going to be numerous road closures for the foreseeable future. Over the next few hours, we're gonna see those roads continue to be closed. It's just not going to be safe to travel. So again, don't let this be your car. I think that's the most important thing that I can relay to you guys is that don't let this be you. Thank goodness they were just parked. I mean, this is unfortunate. They weren't even, they were parked, on what was probably typically high ground. Probably never dealt with something like this, and yet here we go. So that's just to give you guys a general idea as to what all of that is looking like. It's insane. I don't know. There's no other word for it. There's no other word for what we've got going on here. So again, that rain continues to fall. That heavy rain continues to fall as you head towards the 17 and Ondaw and into Mount Pleasant. Although we're starting to see some signs that this too is beginning to slowly move east of Mount Pleasant, which is good. Let's get it out of here. Let's get this gone. We don't want this anymore. Longtime follower M Top 92, Emily Thompson, just drove from North Myrtle to Mount Pleasant. Oh God, how was that? Wow. There's no good time to do any traveling today. That is, oh dear Lord. I'm glad you made it safe. That is not exactly the easiest thing, and it's going to get worse actually up there. Their high tide is peaking right around now. And it's only going to get worse up there before it gets better. I am glad you're safe. And again, folks, I definitely want folks to stay safe. If you do not have to travel today, please don't. I don't. There's no other word to say it. I'm running out of words. Those of you who know me know that that's not something I typically struggle with. So it gives you a general idea of just what we're dealing with here. But again, I think, to recap here as we head towards 1 o'clock, flash flood warning continues until 1 o'clock. We have a flash flood, we have a flood advisory further inland. It's not shown on the screen here. I tried to pull up the warnings earlier and it just overloaded the system, honestly. There's so many. So, flood warning up, Somerville Monk's Corner, that is very likely going to be allowed to expire. We've been in a lull there for quite a while now. The rain story is coming to a gradual end. So we're getting close to being done with the rain. The issue now is going to be, the continued tidal flooding, and that is going to blow out. And there's also the potential for quite frankly, another episode of very strong wind gusts. And it is certainly possible that we may yet continue to see gusts 35, 40 miles an hour as the storm exits this afternoon into this evening. Wind advisory continues until 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock in the morning, that is. So there were 2 1 o'clocks, right? 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So the wind story is not necessarily done yet. The rain story is going to slowly come to an end. It does not mean it's going to stop raining. We've still got plenty of rain in the area. We're going to zoom out. I'll zoom out a little bit on the radar, and you can see, set this in motion. We can put this in motion. You can see that rain train is slowly drifting east. But you can see that there's still plenty of rain on the backside of this thing, and over time it will it won't be as heavy. But again, this is just one of those days where it is just flat out nasty. We had a tornado warning earlier. We had a tornado warning in McClellanville earlier. That was did not seem to no reports of anything, thank goodness. But that's the kind of morning that we've had. And the severe weather risk is going to increase. Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, Southport, Wilmington, in North Carolina here over the next couple hours as this main band of storms continues to lift north. The one thing that you're going to notice is that it's chilly out, and that's really the only thing that's going to tell you that this is non-tropical, truth be told. Latest wind gusts I've got, well, we'll go to temperatures first. Temperatures, North Charleston, 59, James and Johns, 59, Mount Pleasant, 59, 57 in Somerville, 55 at Moncks Corner. That's the only thing that's telling you that it is not, that we're not, that we're not, in a hurricane here, is the fact that it's in the 50s. Otherwise, we have set a record today for the highest tide on record in Charleston Harbor from a non-tropical system at 9.86 feet mean lower low water. Just came in underneath third place, which was Irma, at 9.93. Numerous flooded and closed roads. It's a mess, guys. It's a mess. There's no other way to put it. So, keep this rolling here. I've got a... Yeah, so we got, I'm just looking around. Just looking at all the products of the Weather Service. The Weather Service folks have been very, very, very busy today, and we thank them very much for, always thank them for their dedication and their hard work. It's the wonderful, wonderful folks there. Just some of the best people you'll ever get to meet. Just truly selfless in every sense of the word, and they have... They've done that once again here today. A couple updates. Speaking of products, a couple updates here. We have some reports of sun breaking out, and I'm not surprised by that. Again, we have a very. I'll talk about that here in a second. Real quick, I want to update on the flood watch. Flood watch is going to expire at 1 o'clock for Dorchester County. So if you're in Dorchester County, the flood watch is going to expire at 1 o'clock. If you were in Charleston and Berkeley County, the flood watch has been extended until 4 o'clock, and that makes sense considering, well, there's already flooding happening. So we're going to keep the flooding going. Going to keep the flood watch going until 4 o'clock for Berkeley and Charleston. And we just got an update right now on the flash flood warning as well. So the flash flood warning has been extended. My phone is losing its mind. So let me just getting an update here now on the flash flood watch, the flash flood warning, that is, from the Weather Service. I'll have that for you. I'll have that for you shortly. So the flash flood warning has been, the whole warning, it looks like, has been extended until 3 p.m. Let's see if I get an updated polygon here, but the warning has been extended until 3 p.m. So that is not surprising in the slightest. Again, we've been kind of talking about that potential. We've been talking about that as a distinct possibility, and that has come to fruition here. And that has definitely come to fruition. Oh, my word. I'm just getting more photos in. It's just absolutely nuts. But yeah, so your phone's just lost their mind. My watch lost its mind. Everything has lost its mind. But yeah, the flash flood warning has been extended until 3 o'clock. And it looks like we're keeping. Looks like the whole polygon is staying in place too. It looks like they're not changing the polygon. It looks like they just take. We're just going to take the whole warning and just extend it until 3. So there you go, and that's the safest course of action. That's probably the sanest way to go about this. It's going to be a lot easier for me to explain. Is that if you were in the flash flood warning earlier, you're still in a flash flood warning, and you're going to be there until 3 o'clock. Flood advisory looks like it's going to expire again. The flood watch is going to be expiring at 1 o'clock for Dorchester. It's going to go into effect. It's going to stay until 4 o'clock for Charleston and Berkeley counties. All right. So again, we're all devices on deck today, my friends. We're just looking at everything, and still the water level is still at a record spot. The old record, so you'll know. I mean, the old record for non-tropical flooding was 8.81 feet mean lower low water on January 1st, 1987. That was the old record. We are still at 8.94 feet. High tide was supposed to peak at 11:17 a.m. We are coming up on 1 o'clock. So the water level is still excessive in Charleston Harbor. And so, so that is going to significantly, cause issues with flooding and continue to cause problems there. This is remarkable. I think that's the whole kit and caboodle here, guys. Got a photo from Daniel Island. A boardwalk and a dock was breached here. That is unreal. I'm gonna, yeah, that's, man, that's something. So again, to recap here, and I apologize for not looking at the camera, I'm just multitasking. Flash flood warning continues for Charleston County, pretty much all Charleston County, parts of Berkeley County, including Daniel Island, until 3 o'clock. The flood watch is in effect for Charleston and Berkeley counties until 4 o'clock, and the flood watch will expire here shortly for Dorchester County. So Somerville, as far as the rain situation for you, the worst is over for you. There's still going to be rain, there's still going to be wind, but the worst weather is going to move past. Still could see some very gusty winds this afternoon. Again, I'm still concerned about, gusts, getting at 40, 45 miles an hour on the backside of the low. So that's going to be something that we're going to need to keep an eye on. However, that being said, what we're going to go ahead and do here, we're going to step off of here. I'm going to update the other platforms, continue to update Instagram through stories and things like that. But with that in mind, thank you very much for joining and watching here. We'll keep y'all posted as far as how this goes. And again, flash flood warning goes until 3 o'clock. So again, travel downtown, travel downtown Mount Pleasant, really Highway 17, no good. In fact, there's a rainbow on the College of Charleston camera. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. I don't think I have that. Let me see if I can grab that. Hold on a second. There is all right. So James Briarden, who helps me at the Carolina Weather Group, is one of my producers. He says he has a rainbow on the camera here. So let me see if I can't grab that real quick. Yes. Oh my goodness! Look at that. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna grab this for you guys. I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna say done on that, and then. Sorry, y'all. I'm just this is a new mode of operation here, and occasionally, this gets a little difficult at times. But we'll go ahead and I'm gonna get this in a position for you all to see. But yeah, here is it's about as low rent as it gets. But yeah, there's your rainbow here. That's something else. So there's your rainbow. Hey, who said we didn't have anything cool for you guys today? That's a brilliant one, too. So that's pretty cool. And again, sorry guys, I'm in a new mode of operation here. We have some kinks to work out, but I think this overall went pretty well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so there you go. Rainbow warning. Fun time. So anyway, what we're going to do here is so what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and sign off of here. I'm going to get the other platforms updated. But again, one more recap here. We have a dry slot that's trying to punch in a little bit. You're going to see some breaks in the clouds, but rain is redeveloping and it can come in on the backside of it. It's not going to be as heavy as it was. The heaviest rain is starting to move out of Mount Pleasant, approaching Awendaw, McClellanville, Bulls Bay, those areas. That should be lifting out of here by about 2 o'clock or so. Water levels are continuing to come down. Actually, they just peaked back up over, oh wow. The water level just peaked back up over 9 feet in Charleston Harbor. It had been below 9 feet, and it just kicked up a little bit too. So again, we're going to have some fluctuations there. Do not travel downtown. Do not attempt to travel downtown. Just assume downtown hazardous until further notice. Let's just be safe like this. I have heard from so many people today that they've never seen it like this. So please take heed. Please do not go downtown. Or try to travel downtown if you can help it. It's going to get better, but we're going to need some time for the winds to get around to help blow out some of this water, and that should happen again 2, 3, 4 o'clock. So we may be underwater here downtown for a while. So again, no travel there. Severe weather threat is ending. is going to come to an end. There may still be a stronger storm embedded in the line here that you can see on the radar as it moves up. But the severe weather threat is now moving into Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, those areas, moving out of here. And again, the risk for wind, the wind story is not over yet. We could still see gusts 30, 40, maybe even 50 miles an hour at the coast, especially as the backside of the low begins to move northeast and away from here. The pressure rises on the other side, and so that can cause some back-end weather there as well. So anyway, but for now, Jared Smith here with the Charleston weather, CHSWX on all the things, chswx.com. Thank you for watching, and again, thank you for a great inaugural Instagram broadcast. We had some kinks, had some things to work out, but we got it done. But anyway, thank you very much. Be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you real soon.